In the early 19th century, cooling facilities came to the Danish bakeries, and it was this time, among others, this cake was invented. Let's get this cake started, and we start with the vanilla cream that goes into the center of the cake. We start by adding all the ingredients to a pan and whisking them well together. The secret to a nice cream is temperature control and continuous whisking. We want to bring it to the boiling point and keep it there for a couple of minutes to bake out the flavor of the flour. In the end it will thicken and get nice and creamy. At this point we fill it into a ball. Look how nice and creamy it has become. We want to wrap it close to the cream so it doesn't make a skin. Put it in the fridge and let it cool for a couple of hours. Next up is the short crust pastry. The key here is to keeping the dough cold and handle it as little as possible. Start by weighing off the butter and put it in the freezer for a couple of minutes, and then shred it like it was cheese. Meanwhile we mix the flour and the confectioner's sugar. And we separate one egg in a yolk and the whites. We will only use the yolk. With our bare hands we mix in the butter a little by little. And we finalize the dough on the table. And yes, it will be sticky in the beginning, but in the end it will get together like one uniformly dough. When the dough is uniform, put it in the fridge for about 30 minutes to cool down again. Then it's time to roll it out thin, and we do that between two pieces of baking paper. This will give extra control and better control of the rolling process. Remember, don't to roll over the edge completely in the direction you're rolling, but flip the dough around so you get those edges rolled out as well, and you can easily hold the shape of the dough. We want them only a couple of millimeters thick. For this recipe, I intend to make 8 cakes, and thus I need 16 round pieces of approximately 8 centimeters. Bake them in the oven at 200 degrees Celsius for about 5-6 minutes until the edges are a little brown and they are ready to use when cooled down. While they are cooling down, I whisk my heavy cream to a soft, delicious whipped cream. The trick is to not whisk too heavily, but still enough to get a cream that can stand by itself. Then it's time to assemble, and I start with a ring of whipped cream on 8 pieces of short crust pastry. In the center of the rings, we put a good teaspoon of vanilla cream. Then it's time to garnish the top of the cake, and for that I'm making a royal glazing out of confectioner's sugar and some egg whites. I want a real thick consistency so it doesn't float out too much, and it will stand by itself so I can level it out with a spoon. Continue to mix it and adjust with more confectioner's sugar as needed, little by little. At about this stage, the royal glazing is ready. Then I add a teaspoon for each of the tops and then level it out. I put the tops on the cake, and then I add a little whipped cream before I add my strawberries to give the final garnish. And they are ready to enjoy. Thank you for watching.